Thanks for taking the time to speak with us tonight.
Oh, dude, it's my pleasure. How are you guys?
Awesome. How about you?
I'm doing great. I had made myself a reminder, and even that didn't help me.
Hey, that happens. Hey, you're a busy guy. You know, that's totally understandable.
It is what it is, but thank you guys. Thanks for your patience. I appreciate it.
No problem. No problem. Hey, well, first.
You guys are in Pittsburgh? Is that what I see?
Yes, we are in Pittsburgh.
Awesome. Well, hello, Pittsburgh.
Hello. How are you? Robin, you know, the first thing, you know, that I want to say is, you know, I'm a huge fan, and we just, you know, it's an honor to speak to you, you know, coming from a fan's perspective.
Oh, dude, it's my pleasure. I'm happy that I'm still working and people still enjoy the music. It's really important. So as long as people want to hear it, we'll keep playing it. So there you have it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what I wanted to start out with, you know, you started, you know, in the band Grand Prix, and I actually have the Samurai on vinyl, the album on vinyl. Yeah.
That's actually more than I have. And that's true. That's true. I actually do not. I have a CD copy, but I don't actually have a vinyl. I used to have. God knows where that went, but there you have it.
Yeah, and all the moving.
Funnily enough, one of my sons is totally into vinyl and just bought himself a new turntable. So he's out collecting stuff, which is amazing. It's great.
And vinyl is really making a comeback right now. I hear in Europe it's up like 30% sales wise.
Yeah, I know. You know, it was always great because I know that Europe. You know, we used to do a lot of picture discs and all of that sort of stuff, so it became somewhat of collector pieces. But, you know, I just love that old sound when the needle hits that vinyl. It's just, you can't duplicate it, right?
There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. Hey, when you know, when you were in Grand Prix and, you know, I was, you know, just mentioning the album, and I really like Give Me What's Mine and High Time are like two songs that stand out, you know, going back a little bit. How did you start out with the band Grand Prix, and you know how did you start you know getting into you know a career as a vocalist, as a singer?
I used to do a gig down my local pub in London, and the bass player Ralph Hood and the guitar player Mick O'Donoghue came into the pub one time, and they approached me after one of these pub sessions and said, "Hey, dude, we're actually they didn't call me dude because you don't call people dude in London." And they were, oops, sorry, that's my dog.
No problem. Hey, we've had that happen a few times. No problem.
Yeah, no. He loves the sound of my voice, not. Yeah, so they were looking for a singer, and they had a project called Rock Video.
Okay.
And we got together in the studio, we cut a bunch of demos, and we, you know, it was kind of at the same time that punk started to kick in London, and everybody was signing punk bands, and we were sort of a full-piece rock band, very much sort of in the vein of sort of Free, Bad Company, that sort of stuff.
Okay.
So there wasn't much room for what we were doing. So, you know, as the music industry goes, a year or two later, when punk had sort of run its, or however long it was, had run its course, I knew that those two guys had gone on to be part of a band called Paris, and then Paris later got signed to RCA Records and later became Grand Prix, and they had a Canadian singer called Bernie Shaw, and they recorded the first Grand Prix record. And when that was done, they did a bunch of shows, and I got a call, see if I'm interested to come into the studio and cut some guide vocals because Bernie was on vacation or something.
Okay.
And I went, well, what do you need me for? Because the guitar player sings well enough, as does the keyboard player, so
Right.
you don't need me for a guy. You know, so they said, oh, come on, dude, it'd be good to see you anyway. And so I went in and I cut a bunch of tracks and we were having a blast. So they says, well, the real reason we have you here is that we'd really like you to join the band. And, you know, they had whatever it was they were doing with Bernie. So
Right.
we got together and wrote a bunch of new tunes, and that record became there for them to see. And then I stayed with them for that right through Samurai. So that's basically how my Grand Prix history came together. And it was a great time, actually. Funnily enough, the bass player had his birthday when we opened the Rock Vault on March 11th in Vegas, and it was his birthday the same day. And so we actually FaceTime all the Grand Prix guys, and there's a bunch of speculation as to whether you know, there'll be another Grand Prix record, and I told them I'm completely open to the idea. I think it would be great. We would just have to figure out the logistics of the whole thing and how we would do it, and
Right.
anyone would be, you know, interested at all. So if somebody's interested, we're interested, you know.
Right.
What would we do? I don't know. Play a couple of gigs, you know. It has to all make sense, of course, you know.
Right.
Because
Right.
it's a costly business. They're there. I'm here. But it's a great idea. It's an idea that actually I plan to talk to them when I hit London with Schenker in November, and you know, we'll chew the fat and see if anybody's got some enlightening ideas that we might be able to bring to fruition. So there you have it.
That would be great too to hear you do that with that band again, you know, after all these years. I mean, to see how that would come together. I mean, if you guys still stay in touch and everything, it's obviously a good working relationship.
We had a great time. And Phil and I have been in touch for a number of years, as I have with the guitar player, and the rest of the guys. We FaceTime, we go via Messenger and all that sort of stuff. So
Right.
it's funny that we've always stayed in touch. And of course, Phil, the Lanzan keyboard player, has been with the former singer Bernie Shaw. They've been together in Uriah Heep now for a long time.
Right.
A very long time. Yeah. So, you know, I always say it ain't over till it's over. Right.
Hey, keep doing it, man, because you're doing a great job, as you have since the start.
Yeah, well, you know, I love what I do. Unfortunate that, you know, the phone rings and I pick it up and somebody goes, hey, you want to do something?
Yeah.
You know, and
Right.
You know how it is. You know, if the phone doesn't ring, you ain't working. So
That's the truth.
Regarding the work, you know, we've been running now for 4 years in Vegas with Raiding the Rock Vault,
Right.
the classic rock show. And March 11th, we reopened at the Hard Rock. So we've had a good run. We've to date, we've hit over 850 shows in our biggest run, which we thought might have been, you know, just one bare weekend, and
Wow.
who'd have known it? Yeah, it's incredible, really.
That is.
And it you know, it's classic rock music is alive and well. People still love it. People still get a kick out of it. They go, I remember what I was doing.
Right.
And you know, it's funny. It still touches people in different ways because, you know, it
Right.
brings back memories. And I always say I hope they're good memories. So far so good.
Right. I agree. I would actually love to get out to Vegas to see that. I mean, that looks like an awesome show. I'll tell you what.
Well, I think what's great about it is, you know, people go, well, yeah, but you're just doing, you know, tribute songs, if you will. And in essence, that is true, but there's a show around it, you know. There's
Right.
some great video pieces from, you know, Woodstock and everything, and what we try to do with the show, the whole concept of the show is to take you on as much as we can on a chronological journey from the 60s through the 80s, and we try to do a little costume change in between. We did have a lot of skits, but the show has been scaled down a little bit. We used to be a 2-hour show. It's now a 90-minute show because Vegas just likes 90 minutes, and they like to get the people to the slot machines and all that sort of stuff.
Exactly.
But we cover, whether it's part of a medley section in the show, we cover 30-something songs in the space of 90 minutes.
Wow, that's great.
And it rocks, and we're very true to the song. We like to keep the integrity of the song. There's no backing tracks whatsoever. If we mess up, then we're messing up live because that's the way it is. But my point was that when you have Doug Aldrich on guitar and Howard Leese on guitar,
right,
and you have Hugh McDonald from Joby on bass, or you have Phil Suzanne on bass, and you have Paul Sortino and Mark Bowles and Andrew Freeman and Jay Shellen and Michael T. Ross, and we have Sean Coey who sings with Meatloaf, and she's phenomenal. And before that, we had Stephanie Calvert in from Starship. So we have a powerhouse lineup, and it rotates. We bring Rowan Robertson in, who played with Dio on guitar when Doug's not available, or Tracy Guns comes in and does his stint. And we have one other guitar player, Z Maddox, who actually worked with the Rock of Ages show for as a sub for the length of its run in Vegas. So we have a huge roster of musicians to pick from, but they're all great, and we've all been through the ringer and been there, done it, seen it. And it's great. It's a great team. It's a great working team. Great lighting, great lasers. It's a blast. I mean, again, when we started this in March of 2013, we thought we might just get a weekend out of it or something.
Right.
And 850 shows later, it's like happy days.
Right. That's That's fantastic. I mean, that lineup right there.
It is.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's great, and because of the nature of the business, not everybody is available at the same time, but we make it work. And it's again, so far so good. It's been near as damn it flawless, and everybody knows what the other is doing, so we can fill a spot. If I'm out, as I was a few times last year, I was out with Michael. Then the other three singers are able to fill my slot, and if one of them is out, I can fill their slot. So we double up whenever it's necessary. So it works.
That's. So
if you get a chance, come and let me know. I'll come out and see it.
Well, I tell you what, I would come to Vegas just for that show.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
A lot of people say the same thing. It's the best show I've seen. But God knows, I'll tell you, there's a lot of shows in Vegas. Oh my God. It is. In fact, since we left the Tropicana venue at the end of July of last year, so we had an 8-month hiatus from the Rock Vault, and I cannot believe, going back in March of this year, last month, how many similar type rock shows were rushed to take our slot. It was amazing, and there was sort of a variation of a theme.
Right.
And as pretentious as it may sound, there isn't one of them that's been able to pull off what we're doing. It's like it's a copycat, but it's a bad copycat because they don't have the lineup that we have, basically, and I think that's the key factor. Dare I say it, but they don't have it. So,
I believe it.
So we're happy. And of course, fast forward, the Live in Tokyo DVD for Michael Schenker Fest also came out 24th of March.
Right.
And it's getting amazing reviews. It was so much fun. It's like all of these years later,
right?
3 singers together. It's just a blast. I mean, that is an absolute blast. I'm so happy that we're doing that. When I got offered to do that for Sweden Rock last June, I jumped at it and I went, oh my God! I've been singing Gary's songs for as long as I've been singing with Michael.
Right.
And now the fact that we could actually be up there together doing it, along with Graham Bonnet, is that it was Michael's idea. It was a great idea, and so far it seems to be paying off. The promoters love it, the fans love it, and there's a huge catalog of material that we're able to cover because of the nature of all three singers.
Right. And
yeah,
that even bringing that out right now, that's what I was gonna ask you. But back then when you got to join the MSG, I always thought that that your style was what the band needed at that time. I mean, it was kind of like transitioning from the the '70s style to the '80s style, and I always thought
I'm glad you brought that up because when you fast forward again, now that so much has changed, because our period, the McCAULEY Schenker period specifically, was that sound. It was like it was like the hair metal sound. It was like all geared, if you will,
right,
intentionally or not. It was geared towards MTV and VH1, and you had management and you had the labels, and they're going, well, I don't hear the single. I need to hear the single. So you had the pressure to write the song that was going to make it to MTV or VH1, do the video,
right,
and the whole 9 yards.
Right.
And now you get a lot of the journalists from the early periods of MSG, from the Michael Schenker group period of MSG,
right,
and they are very much, they love to come to the front and go, well, I never liked that 80s period. so no, it's true.
I believe it.
I'm the first to tell you that. That they go, well, we never really liked that commercial edge of it. We prefer the earlier stuff and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But if you were in that situation, then you have to criticize the likes of Leopard and Whitesnake and Warrant and
right,
God knows and Rat and all of the other bands that fall into that category that we were there, and that's what, and Poison and GNR, and that's what was going on.
Right.
It was all that sound. I don't think anybody set out to. Well, there may have been a few that will remain nameless that wanted to sound like somebody else, but
right.
yeah, but you know
right.
how it is,
right.
and that's what it was for the period. And let's say we had written material that was earlier MSG, people probably would have liked it, but it
right.
wouldn't have fitted into that period. So your hands are tied,
Right.
Your hands
right.
are tied because you want to make another record. You want
right.
to tour.
Right.
And if you want to do all of the above, you have to be doing A, B, and C, right? So
exactly.
So it's like you could tire yourself out just explaining why and whatever. So you just go, yeah, whatever, dude.
Right.
Thanks for liking it, thanks for hating it.
That's it.
But in our defense, people always say, well, it was really commercial. And I go, well, yes, it was. But, Michael was playing guitar. He was actually playing the stuff. I was singing to it. So
right.
Where do you start critiquing? And where do you end critiquing? Right?
Exactly.
And furthermore, it was actually the first, if not the only time, that MSG as a band actually ever had MTV play, ever had VH1 play, and ever hit the chart. So I suppose
right.
when you put that together, it's like, yeah, well, fuck you.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
I mean, excuse my Irish French.
But that's exactly it, though. You're exactly right. Exactly right.
It is. So 6 to 1 and a half dozen of the other. But it was all great fun. It was great fun. It's there. There's still enough people that like it, and thank you for calling me and talking about it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we love that. I mean, that's where we first heard you. I first heard you, with the Perfect Timing album, and that's what got me to get the Grand Prix album. I said, hey, man, Robin McCauley's awesome, and then I bought it at a record fair. I saw it. I said, wait a minute. I said, Robin McCauley's on this? It was almost like a guarantee as soon as I saw that you were singing on it.
Yeah, if I could change one thing, it would probably be the hairstyle. Oh my God! I remember. I'll tell you a little bit of trivia. I remember when we did the English leg of the Whitesnake tour when Coverdale came back and was hitting it big, and
Okay.
we were on the bill for all the English shows. We were supposed to do Germany, but that didn't materialize for some sort of legal problems with David. But when we did the English shows, we got major reviews, and one of the reviews I always remember was on a magazine called Kerrang magazine.
Okay.
And we got the front cover of Kerrang, and the headline was, if you can visualize what we looked like, the headlining was MSG hit the stage like a hairdresser's nightmare. Never a truer statement was made. Oh my God, it was like hair extensions and the colors, and I was like, oh boy, yeah. So it was unforgiving, really.
Right.
Yeah, but we can laugh about it now, all of these years later. I'm still laughing about it and going, well, dude, we were probably right up there with the first of those hair extensions.
Right.
Oh, jeez. But I still have my hair, so that's a good thing, right?
That is a good thing, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I have plenty of hair, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's funny?
And if need be, hair extensions have come a long way, so I can always revert back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my God, our bass player used to wear red, white, and blue hair extensions. His guitar was red, white, and blue. His clothes were red, white, and blue. It was like camouflage, It was
Yeah.
It was like, dude, are you actually in there somewhere? Yeah, it's good times.
You know what they say too. Speaking of that what they said on that magazine was any publicity is good publicity.
Oh,
So
dude,
if you get to
I will tell you something. My wife and I and the boy we're Catholics, right? So
right.
I remember one Sunday we're at church, and we got this new priest that came in from. He actually was a naval priest, right?
Okay.
So he comes in for the first. This is true. He comes in for the first time, and he was wearing camouflage vestments.
Okay.
So he makes his way right up to the altar, and he stands there. We'd never seen him before. He turns around, and he stood there for a good minute, silent.
Okay.
And then he said, "Can you see me? Because if you can, these vestments are not working." And I went and just went, yeah. So there you go. It's like I got to try that one time. I'm the invisible man. Yeah, I know. It's funny. I mean, you could make up as many stories as you want, really.
That's classic right there. That is classic.
Isn't it, though?
It is.
It is.
And that's
it's the good stuff you don't forget,
Oh, you'll remember that for the rest of your life too. Sitting around the dinner table, bring that up. That's classic.
Yeah, I'm telling you. So this year we have actually coming up in May, of course. Coming up in May, I don't know if you know, we have the Calos Festival in Madrid. Where it'll actually just be me with Michael as opposed to Gary and Graham joining us. I'm not quite sure. I think that was a promoter thing.
Okay.
And then we have the Headbangers Festival in Germany.
Right.
I think we're co-headlining that with Vince Neil and his band.
Nice.
We have a bunch of shows already for October in Spain. I think we're going into Holland. And then we're going into the UK.
Nice.
And I do know that there's talks right now about a US tour. I don't see dates yet, but I know it's
oh
I
man.
know it's being talked about, and I'd love to do that. So
absolutely.
So we're just we're really chomping at the bit here, and we're thinking this is a great idea, and just take it as far as Michael's prepared to take it. It was a great idea. He put it. It was his idea entirely, and it's a great idea. I mean.
Agreed.
Who'd have considered it, And he goes, and he told me, and he said, what I want to do is is, he said, there's so many people out there with their cell phones and they want to record badly, may I say, every time you step on stage, right?
Right.
Because it does you, if only people would realize the injustice that it does the live forum, because,
right.
it's a phone, for God's sake,
Exactly.
And then they stream it live, and they're going, it sounds like shit, I'm not going to see this band, right? Well, that's what I feel.
That's true.
When I see a lot of these posts. Yeah, when I see a lot of these posts, I'm going, damn, I want to just go to that concert, I'm not going now,
That's it.
And, no, it's true.
I agree, totally.
Yeah, and so, where was I going with this? God help us. Old and senile. I don't know where.
No.
Cell phones, and the live forum, and
right.
whatever it is. It's just, I'd rather people just show up,
right.
and have a good time. And we get this at the Rock Vault all the time. Because people are going, can't believe that guy is on stage. So they spend so much time sitting, right?
Right.
They spend so much time sitting, and they're staring into their phones, or they're staring into the back of their phones as they're videotaping everything, and they only really get to see the show when they watch their live stream. They're not paying attention. They're more focused on making sure that they capture as much as they can.
Right.
And sometimes we will just unannounced, we will just dive bomb off the stage and grab the phones and run around the theater or wherever we are, and back to what I'm telling you.
Right.
We give it back to them when we're good and ready. And people don't expect it. People do not expect it, and I can tell you, because when we do that, we don't do it very often, but when we do it, you'd be amazed how fast everybody else puts their phones away.
Oh, I'm sure.
I ain't gonna steal my phone, man. And it's like it's just not representative of what's actually going on, and it's a shame.
Yeah, you can't even get involved in the show. I mean, you're going to the show to to participate. I mean, if you're filming it, you're not participating, really.
Yeah. Stand up and have a good time. I mean, I know there's seats, and they pay for their seats and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
I'd prefer there were no seats. I'd prefer you come in, and if you can, stand for 90 minutes, I'd much prefer that, because now we're talking. Now we're rocking, right?
Absolutely. That's what it's about. That's absolutely what it's about.
Sitting. Can you rock when you sit? I can, unless it's a rocking chair.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm not ready for that yet. I'm not near that. Yeah, I'm not in that space right now.
Boy, I tell you what, Robin, I really hope that you guys come to the United States. Boy, I would love to see you. Definitely would.
Yeah, I'm hoping that happens. I really am. I think it'd be great. I think it'd be really cool.
We got to
because you just don't get, it's when the idea was presented to me, I went, oh my God, we can cover so much ground here,
Right.
And it's all of that material, plus the fact, of course, we can segue into classic UFO. You can't leave a stage of Mike and Schenker without including some UFO tunes, of which there's a plethora of which I love.
Absolutely.
If Strangers in the Night's not one of the best live albums ever, I don't know what is.
It definitely is.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. And actually, they just came through Vegas. UFO just came through with Saxon. I don't know. Did you see that show?
I didn't see that. Brian, did you see that show?
They just came through about 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Sounded great. In fact, this actually, Big Bipod, he's never lost a beat, man. He sounds terrific. So does Phil. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's what I've heard about Saxon. I didn't get to see him coming through, but I know Brian did. He's on.
Oh, dude, killing it. I mean, killing it. My hat goes off. I'm going, this is great shit. Love it, because I'm I know it's just me. So take it as it comes. I think when you're past the point of delivering, has to be some dignity involved, right? So trying to bow out gracefully,
Absolutely.
And think it does yourself a disservice if you're just, whatever.
Right.
But anyway, different strokes, right?
Right, right.
It's just a personal feeling. So anyway, ignore it. Ignore I said that.
That's on edit. On edit.
Yeah. You guys are funny. It's good. But it's good to laugh about this shit, right? I mean, you can't take it too serious. I mean,
absolutely.
yes, you can, but you shouldn't.
Right, right.
It's rock and roll at the end of the day, and it's supposed to be live, and there you have it.
And it's supposed to be fun too. I mean, that's what it's about.
Oh, dude, when it stops being fun, you won't hear any more of me. I'll be gone. Yeah, I love the fun aspect of it. It has to be fun. It has to be fun. I mean, I like it to be. I like, they say it's all in the presentation. I like it to be a good show, a good quality show.
Right.
But you have to keep the involvement of the audience. I mean, it's their show too.
Right.
I hate to think it's the band and them. It's not. It's not. It's everybody that's in that venue, whether it holds 50 or 10. It's everybody's show. So
right.
I think when everybody gets in there, I think you feel it. You absolutely feel it.
It's kind of like almost like a religious experience, a way to even say it. It kind of is.
I know. I'm only really getting back to the camouflage.
Yeah, that's it. No,
and you see, I knew you'd revert back to that.
That's your costume.
I don't give blessings, so you're picking the wrong guy.
That'll be your wardrobe for the next show for the Rock Vault. Come out in that camouflage.
Actually, it's not out of the question.
That's it. I'm going to keep watching online. When I see that, then I know I need to get out there.
Yeah. Well, you won't see me, will you? So I think you watch all you want.
That's right.
That's the beauty. Yeah.
See, where's his voice coming from? He's standing right there, but I can't see him.
I never saw the dude. Yeah.
Hey, do you have any plans to do like any new recording with Michael at all? Like as far as new music.
I did hear some murmurings that it might be something down the road. I think initially, and it hasn't been openly discussed, but I get the impression that the idea is to go forward with these shows,
right,
and get a broader reaction of how it's going down, and I suppose the reaction will stem the desire to feel the need to record some stuff.
Right.
I think it would be a shame not to.
Right.
Because I think there's so many different things. Not necessarily that we would, as Three Singers, even if we did cut individual tracks, I think sharing tracks would be an awesome idea. I mean, different styles. I think it would be killer.
I agree.
We do that in the Rock Vault, because part of the Rock Vault is that if we're doing a Zep song, we don't. I'm not Robert Plant.
Right.
Nobody else is Robert Plant.
Right.
So you're not trying to emulate Robert Plant. You're basically trying to keep the dignity of the song, and so that when people hear whatever song it is from whatever band you're playing from, that they go, "Oh my God, this is terrific! It sounds right on the money." So we add different voices,
right,
and we share parts of the songs to bring across the song. That's the whole idea. I always say we're just vehicles to present that piece of music. So I think it would be a great idea. I hope that part's discussed, because there's no end to what we could or could not do with a bunch of tunes,
Oh, I could imagine that. And all you guys working together, I mean, the quality of the the songs will be amazing.
Yeah, I think it would be something we should definitely look into. And again, it'll be Michael's decision ultimately at the end of the day. So,
right.
I can say all I want. It makes nothing. it's good.
That's great. That is great. And
I'm also doing a show, a little promotion here. I'm actually doing a show
you got it.
on the 28th of this month. I'm actually doing a show in Niagara Falls at the Seneca Casino.
Nice.
In Niagara Falls, and I had the great honor yet again, because I've performed with both of them multiple times. We will be performing together with Lou Graham, Mickey Thomas from Starship, and Perry Nunn from Berlin. And we will have a core band, but we'll have a full-on Philharmonics behind us. And
wow.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
That sounds really, really cool. Now, how did you get involved? With that, doing that right there. That's great.
Actually, again, luckily, Rockfall had ended its run last July, and I was back in LA. I live in LA, and
Okay.
I was home a couple of days. Phone rang. A gentleman said, "Hey, I'm so and so, and this is what we do." Show's been running for 6 years or something.
Right.
It's called One Night of Symphonic Rock. And we had John Elefante singing, and due to contractual commitments, etc., he can no longer do it. We'd love you to do it. Are you in? And I went, oh my God, this would be phenomenal with a Philharmonic. And the whole idea is that they go from city to city.
Right.
And they pull out the Philly from whatever city they're into with the charts, and they back the band. And I think, oh man, are you kidding?
Wow.
Now there's a concept, huh?
Really, really.
So and of course Lou guested with us at the Rockfall. He came in for a week. Mickey Thomas actually came in for a week, as did back then when we first started, as did Bobby Kimball. Jolene Turner came in. John Henderson from Yes came in for a week.
Nice.
And it's a strange turn of events now, of course, that since Alan White had his surgery, our drummer Jay Shellen is now also playing drums, assisting, more than assisting, I should say. I've seen him with Yes, and he's phenomenal.
Right.
So it's a small revolving door, but a good door. So I get the chance to sing with Lou again, and when I was with Survivor, we did a lot of back-to-back shows together with both Lou's band and with Starship, and of course we had Stephanie Calvert,
right,
who sings with Starship. She was one of our main girl singers for about 2 years with the Rockfall.
Wow, that's
so it's going to be awesome. I'm scared. I'm scared, dude. It's a big deal for me, because Lou is like he's my hero.
Right.
He's my hero, dude. He's awesome. And I don't know if you heard Mickey sing. Mickey Thomas that guy is a machine.
Oh yeah.
That's what he is. He's a machine, dude. It's like he steps out and he starts to sing Jane, and you're going, "Are you kidding me, dude?"
Right.
It's like the record. It's like listening to the record. The guy is absolutely phenomenal set of pipes from that man. Yeah. And the nicest guy. I mean, just a horrible combination to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really.
It has to really be, really something for you, when people invite you to do things like that, just the quality of you as an entertainer and as a vocalist, for them to invite you to things like that is incredible. I mean, that's fantastic for you.
Oh, trust me, I don't take it lightly. I actually put the phone down, and then I looked at my wife and I'm going, really? That just happened? They want me to do that? Why me?
Right.
I question everything. I question everything all the time. I never wanted to be a singer. I wanted to be a drummer. I stopped playing drums. I played drums for a long time, and man, I was not good. And And I used to do backups. You know, it was the easiest thing to do. I was like the Phil Collins in the band.
Right,
and
right.
I was very happy with that situation.
Right.
And we had a girl singer in the band way back, and she said, I'd like to do a duet with you. And then we did a second one and a third, and they're going, you know, you shouldn't be playing drums, you shouldn't be singing. I'm going, nope, that's not in the picture. and it just kind of went that way, and I still want to be a drummer, you know. I still want to be a drummer. If somebody really got serious and said, make a record, make a solo record, my first inkling would be to do a type of a Faces record. I just was a huge Faces fan. I don't think there's enough of that kind of music.
There's not.
When the Crows came out and did that whole Shake Your Money Maker thing, they were the first band actually to open up for MSG when we toured.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, they did, and you know, they were kind of going down that sort of Faces-y path.
Right.
And then it got a little bit more bluesy. But I was a huge Faces fan. If I was to do a record, a solo record, I mean, if ever I jam anywhere, which not very often, I will almost always pick like Faces too, you know, because it's dirty, easy listening rock. I love the whole idea of guitar, mandolins, fiddle, you know, and just kick you in the balls, dirty rock and roll. I just love that whole sound, that sort of, you know, eclectic, organic sort of stuff. I just dig that sort of stuff, you know. And
like you said, it's nobody's doing it. Nobody's doing anything like that.
No, but you know, after this conversation, everybody will be doing it.
That's on edit too, Robin.
Funny.
No, we'll keep that between us, because when you're ready to break that solo album out, I don't want to be one of the ones that you look back and say, "Oh man, why did these guys do this to me?"
Oh God! I'm glad you caught me now.
Absolutely. You know what? It's a fantastic interview, man. It's a pleasure to speak to you. It's not even like an interview. It's like just a regular conversation, which is nice.
Well, it's good to have a chat. You know, it's like we can talk about the same old stuff. We could talk about politics. That wouldn't get me very far.
Me either.
Yeah.
I'd rather.
Everybody wants to talk politics these days, isn't it?
It's crazy.
Everybody thinks they have the answer.
Right.
Oh Lord.
You know what? The answer is they need to go to the Rock Vault show. That's what they need to do.
That's what they need to do, and let their hair down if they still have some, and if they don't, we'll plant the wigs.
Right.
and they'll have a great time. Yeah.
That's it.
And then they'll have all the answers after they leave, because it's all in rock music. They've been singing about it for years, you know.
Exactly.
Rock musicians always have the answers to the problems, too.
That's the truth.
I tell you what, you get drunk and have a good time, and everything's great.
Yeah, you forget about everything. That's right.
Yeah, so it is. And a great time to remember a thing.
Yes. You know what? If we're going to talk politics and we're religious experience again, remember that? When they come to the Rock Vault show, and then you got the vestments on, you'll teach them about politics.
Dude, you know it. You know it. Yes, I know a few psalms. Trust me. I know what to say.
I agree. Now, how about like any other things that you're doing right now? As far as that you like to get out there. Is there anything that's down the road?
Well, Rockwold up until when we ended in July, we were working 6 nights a week, so there was very little time to do other stuff.
Right.
But there is a project. It's like a prog rock, not like, but it actually is, put together by a keyboard player that lives in Vegas. His name is Greg Fox, and there's a project called Renaissance Rock Orchestra, and it's phenomenal. I mean, it's very It's very pompous. It's very complex. And he wrote the whole thing.
Okay.
And I recorded almost all the vocal tracks, and some of it, a lot of it's instrumental. Mark Bowles sings one of the songs on there, but I do most of the songs on there. And that's supposed to be coming out like soon. I know that they mastered it and they weren't happy. And then they're currently remastering it, and remixing it. So Renaissance Rock Orchestra should be coming out, and they're planning to do sort of a launch with it and see if they'll do some shows. It'll be quite a pompous thing. And just on that note, because the pompous are just, it's a sad day, of course, losing Paul O'Neill from Trans-Siberian. It's like a great loss. The man was a genius,
Right. That.
And I don't know if you ever saw PSO in action, I made a statement on Facebook this morning, It's Christmas where he is right now, that's for sure, because
right.
They put on such phenomenal Christmas shows. Just unbelievable. And again, talking about lineups, my God, what a lineup of great guitar players and singers and
absolutely
musicians. Just terrific. So amen to Paul O'Neill this day,
Amen to him. Absolutely. That's
yeah.
Those guys were.
Other than that, I haven't been able to get my teeth into anything really. What we did do, Steve Mann, who was the keyboard player, guitar player from the McCAULEY group days,
right?
We actually re-recorded Anytime. Exactly like it's because it was never up on iTunes, and the only way we could get it up to iTunes would be to take the track, and Steve and I wrote that song, so we thought we'd just recut it, and we recut it, and it's up on iTunes, and we thought we'd just give it a shot. And initially we wanted to do a different version of it,
right?
And people were going, no, why would you want to do that? So what's up there on iTunes right now is absolutely brand new.
Okay.
We recut the music, and I recut the vocals, and we wanted to keep it pretty much the same as the original was, but it's the only way that we could do it to actually get it up onto iTunes. So we did that last year. So that's already a bit late now.
You know what though? But
we did it. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say people that haven't heard it, it's never too late.
Yeah, well, a lot of people used to come in the show and go, I can't believe you don't do that at the show. And the show really isn't about doing our own band's material, although we do cover we do a Whitesnake and we do a Heart, because Howard Leach, the guitar player from Heart.
Right.
So we do that sort of stuff, but the idea really is not to do our own material, because then it goes, well, how come you play his song and you don't play mine? So we don't go down that road.
Right, it's a full fight then, yeah.
Yeah. So we leave that alone, and we deal with the rest of the material, and it works better. So there won't be a lot of people would say, I don't know why you don't put that into the show. So purely as of a lot of pressure when we finished the show at night, we decided we would recut it and put it up on iTunes, and that seems to have settled that issue.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what? And with the song like Anytime, now that you brought that up, how does it feel? I mean, that song is so well known, and just to think that that you were a part of that has to be amazing to you. Because I think when you do a ballad, there's certain guys, singers that can deliver a great ballad, but you seem to take it to the next level. And I thought about just like When I'm Gone is another great example of doing that. It's incredible.
That's a really cool song. A little story on When I'm Gone. We had actually turned in the last MSG studio record, where we had actually James Kotak play drums on it, and Jeff Pilson, who's been with Foreigner for forever. Right. And we turned in the record to the label, and the A&R guys came back and went, and getting back to the beginning of this conversation, first thing out of their mouths was, well, we don't hear the MTV track, and I'm going, oh,
Right.
geez, you know. And no, this is true. It's absolutely true. And so there you have a record that, you know, you put a lot of time and effort into.
Right.
And now you turn it in, and they're going, hey, you don't hear the MTV track. And I'm going, you know.
Right.
So you know, they put you into a bag. That's where they want to turn you into a made-to-measure suit. You know,
Right.
This guy's going to turn out that, and it's like it's a horrible place to be because it's like it should come straight naturally from the heart. It should be spontaneous and all that sort of stuff. And now they're asking for something that you go sit down and you write to a format. You know, and that gets us back to the earlier part of this conversation. So they put me together with Sammy Hagar's keyboard player, Jesse Holmes.
Okay.
And I got together with Jesse, and I went, well, that's what they want, you know. And Jesse was, of course, Jesse wrote Walk on Water and Two Tickets to Paradise and all that stuff for Eddie Money.
Right, okay, I didn't know that. That's cool.
So I know, right? So he had a little something under his belt right from the get-go.
Right.
So I got together with Jesse, and he goes, I know, what are you looking for? And I'm going, oh, they want the, what you're talking about, they want the power ballad.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And he said, well, you're the guy for the power ballad. And he goes, oh, well, what I've got, he goes, I got a couple of things flying around here that I never used, and blah, blah, blah. And I got this, and he played that, and I got that, and like that. And he got this, and I don't like that. And he goes, this, and I went, oh, that sounds good. And it was just piano.
Right.
That's all it was. It was just a piano intro. And I went, that sounds cool. And I went, I could hear that going somewhere. And he goes, so what are you hearing? And I went, well, you know, let's see what you have on it. So we chopped up what he had, put it into sort of a working song format, and just threw anything, just threw the kitchen sink at it, just to get a feel. Right. And I remember that weekend, I had to leave, and I was going to Palm Springs. So I had like a small piece of music on a cassette tape. Remember cassette tapes?
Oh yeah.
So I had a cassette, and I just had it with me, and I remember just hanging around, and I'm going, okay, what are we going to do with this? Worked on it, came back to Jesse, and voila, we had When I'm Gone. Recorded it the next week, and took it to the A&R guys, and they're going, well, why didn't you do that to start with? And when I hadn't met Jesse at this point. So that's how When I'm Gone came about. That's a really, although I say so myself, that's just a really nice song. It's a really cool song. A great, just a nice song to sing to, you know.
It does. It is.
I really enjoyed the time on that song. You know, some songs you do it and it seems good at the time, but that was just a nice feel. I can't describe it any other way. It's a long-lasting feel on that song. Just a good song. You know, they always say a good song is a good song is a good song. So. Right.
And if it's something that touched you as an artist and you took it this far, you know, as far as your career and the way you feel about it, I mean, that is a great song.
Yeah, it's good. A lot of people actually prefer it more than Anytime, but Anytime actually ended up getting a lot more radio time than When I'm... But again, timing. You know, there was about a year or 18 months between either record. So it made a huge difference at the time because by the time the last record was done, Seattle had opened its doors to Soundgarden and Pearl Jam, and Nirvana was about to hit the streets, and so goodbye long-haired 80s rock.
Right.
You know? So again, everything, timing. I think if you remember, you know, the industry kind of hoped that all the long-haired dudes would go away and die. And,
right.
You know, I always used to say the dinosaurs will walk again, and voila.
That's the truth.
You know?
Good way to put it.
The dinosaurs come back to haunt them, dude. It never actually went away. You know, there's a lot of bands who put their hair short, thinking that now they were current. And I'm going, don't be such a dumb shit, you know?
Right.
But it's not not really about the hair, dude. That's just an image thing, you know?
Exactly.
You know, the suit don't make the man, but they thought, well, if I cut my hair, I'll kind of blend. Who wants to blend, you know?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
So, and now it's amazing how that whole era of music has always stayed alive. One of my sons he loves to play guitar. Absolutely loves 80s rock. I mean, just kills it. He doesn't hear it from me.
Awesome.
You know, and as I told you at the beginning, he went out and bought himself a turntable yesterday, and he's got a ton of vinyls that he's been collecting.
Nice.
And now he's in his element. He thinks it's the greatest thing ever. And interestingly enough, of course, it's a whole new era of music for the kids today.
Right.
You know, there's so much to listen to, and a lot of them revert back to the 80s, and they're going, David, do you know that band? Dad, do you know this guy? Wow, how come you know that guy? And so it's a whole new thing. It's alive and well, and as long as it is, you know, dinosaurs will keep eating the grass, and there you have it.
And you're right too. The talent always rises to the top, and it never lets go. I mean, you see those '90s bands, you don't even hear from those guys anymore. But now you still have.
I don't watch a great deal of TV. I'm not really big on TV. I like a lot of made-for-TV movies, that sort of stuff, you know, or Game of Thrones and all that kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah, good show.
Kind of TV. Okay, all the Netflix stuff or the Amazon Prime. But point in case, if you do watch car commercials, especially, it's almost 80s rock, almost always.
Right.
Almost
You're right.
80s rock stuff. Yeah, and you know, a dozen years ago, I got called in by Edgar Winter, and Edgar was offered a chance. Edgar was offered a chance to he was asked for free ride for a commercial, and because they didn't own the rights, they had sold the rights to Sony Music.
Right.
The only way they could accommodate was to recut the track. So I recut Free Ride with Edgar Winter, and it ran for over 2 years, national TV, on a Buick car commercial. So
that's cool.
Enough said. Yeah,
that is cool.
Yeah, so my point is that it's almost always classic rock tunes that the car commercials use. Why is that? Because they're just better songs. I think that's just more memorable.
Exactly.
There.
Exactly.
I said my piece.
Yeah, and people remember the hook. They remember the chorus. They remember that takes them back to the time, and that's like exactly what you said. Exactly.
Yeah. You see, now you're getting into technical issues because when you're writing a hit song, you're supposed to hit the chorus within how many seconds? If not, the radio won't play it. I mean, don't you remember all of that BS?
Exactly.
Right. The verse can only be this short. The intro can only be that short. You must hit the chorus by X amount of seconds.
Right.
Because,
right.
If they're gonna spin this right before the news, because that's prime time, then you better hit that chorus and then, oh my God, compare about music.
Yep.
Right?
You just brought that up, and I interviewed Dennis Ward probably maybe 2 months ago, month and a half, and they did the Placeman Dome album, and Michael Kiske and
right.
And I asked him about that. What was how you structured the song, and he said starting out right away, don't bore us getting to the chorus. That's exactly what he said. Yeah.
Yeah, got to go to it. Because the radio was going to give you X amount of time, didn't matter who you were.
Right.
And if you got the prime slot was right before the news, because everybody wanted to hear the damn news or the weather.
So you're right.
It's true. And that is a prime slot. If you get in right before the weather or the news, that's prime time. Right. And so if you have a hit single that your label is trying to promote, you better get to it, chop. And that's why the format was structured, for the most part, for that kind of stuff. Structured for radio.
Right.
And you couldn't be any more than 3 minutes. Right?
Right. They always wanted it at that time frame.
Yes, and when Queen came out with Bohemian Rhapsody, it was 6-something minutes?
Right.
People go, no, it'll never get played on radio. Well, that changed.
Yeah, exactly.
That changed the whole face of that mini game, didn't it?
Right. Right.
But how long did that take? That took a long time.
That did.
So, and that's the beauty of it, because you start off with a set of parameters that you must work within. And
right.
people work within it, and it works fine, and people go, you know what, I hate this. We need to change it. And so there you have the change. So next. And
right.
Thank God for that. Thank God for that. We'd be stuck on that conveyor belt going round and round and round, you know. It's a small world after all.
Absolutely.
You hear that chorus how many times?
Absolutely.
But that's what it is. I mean, it's a strange analogy, but there you have it. That's basically, it's like, I hate that song.
Exactly. That's so restricting to an artist too, to say, hey, you have to have this, 3 minutes, and how can you even develop?
Yeah, of course. But you know, if the label is behind you and the label is going, yeah, well, there you have it. You want to play it or you don't, you know.
All right.
And if you get played, you get the tour. You get the tour, you're off and running. Maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the gist of it all right there. You're right.
Yeah. Sad but true. There's another
Exactly.
song. I might write a song called Sad but True.
There you go. Just do it like Metallica. Do it with a symphony or something.
No, I just ripped theirs off.
Yeah. That's it. It's crazy. How about like any last words, Robin? I know you took the time on your day off. Your wife said so. We want to get you back to your family. I don't want to keep it tight, but it's a pleasure to talk to you, my man.
I just want to say, radio keeps the music alive.
Right.
Talking to people like you who are interested in hearing the stories about the music that we all grew up with, and we're very, very fortunate.
Right.
To be able to continue to perform live, because it's the only format available really to us anymore. It's the live forum.
Right.
And if you can come out and see the live concerts, keep it live, because it's the only way you're going to see it. And
right.
We're very grateful. I personally am very grateful for you taking the time to be the slightest bit interested in hearing my dulcet tones. So.
Oh, man.
Thank you very much for that. And if you get a chance to come to Vegas, I'd love to see you. And let me know ahead of time, and we'll treat you to a Vegas time.
You got it.
And if you get a chance to come and see MSG, do that also, because that's Michael Schenker is in rare form. He is playing probably better than I've ever seen him, and that's a fact. He's great.
Oh, that's great to hear.
He's in great form. So we're very excited about what's to come, and given another chance to jump on the magic roundabout.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Oh, Robin, you're welcome. I mean, we're always going to be huge fans. We support you. Since day one. You've
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I don't say that lightly, because if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. So thank you.
And you said it so much about how you look back on your life and you think about and how much the music has really touched it, and I'm so proud really to say that I'm a fan of this music, and I've been since day one, and we've been since day one. That's what we talk about. We still listen to it, in my car. There's always something that's hard rock metal from the '80s, and even nowadays, tying in with the bands, and it's just. That's why we do what we do. We love getting the word out for you guys to keep it alive, and that's just part of what it is, man.
Thank you. If you need anything, you know how to get a hold of me.
You got it. When we get the interview ready, how can I send it to you? Do you want me to send it to your email, so you can listen in?
Yes, you can send it. I'll give you my personal email. You can send it to me.
Okay.
And that's really easy. It's like spelling a microphone, but you drop the I, so it's microphone, McCauley, microphone@yahoo.com.
Okay, you got it. Awesome. All right, Rob.
Have a wonderful rest of the day. What time is it with you, by the way?
8:30.
Oh, it's 8:30? 5:34. I'm going to open a bottle of wine now, so cheers.
Oh, absolutely. Nice.
Well, make sure you guys
so much.
Thank you.
Make sure MSG tour here to Pittsburgh, so we'd really like to see that. I did happen to catch you when you were with who was it now? With the band, I can't remember. Survivor.
Oh my God, you did?
Yes, and you did like a street fair or something in Pittsburgh, like a suburb of Pittsburgh.
Right. That is right.
I caught you right before you guys got on stage, and you signed my Perfect Timing album for me.
I remember. I can see it. I can see. Right. Didn't it rain cats and dogs? I remember.
Yes, it did, because you said.
It did. I remember. Yes, I remember. I remember.
You told me specifically, Rob. You're like, see me after our set, and I'll get a picture with you. But it ended up pouring.
I remember that.
Yep. Yes. I was at that show. Yes, I could see you right before you got on
stage. Into a van or something. I know. I remember.
Yep.
Well, there's hope from the end. You see, I do remember.
I did catch part of that show, whatever you guys got to play, and until that rain set in. I mean, it really came down, too. I mean, it was thundering and lightning.
I remember.
Yes, it was bad. You guys had to cut that set short. But I did get a chance to meet you.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yep. Good time. Definitely bring that
up. All right, my friend, you take care of yourself, okay? And if you're coming to Vegas, let me know.
Oh, you got it, Robin. I'll come out just for that show,
right,
I'll tell you that.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Robin. Have a good night. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Goodbye, you guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.